DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no slowing down. The checkered flag is calling, we're the crown. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead. In the DRL, we race with greed. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead. In the DRL, we race with greed. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the sounding, crowd shouting, victories within reach, no doubting. We're champions, born in the fight. In the DRL, we own the night. Degenerate race league, this is our creed. Fast and furious, it's all we need. It's all we need. It's all we won't look like. We own the track. We own the night. We own the night.
Hello and welcome to another round of Season 6 in the Degenerate Race League. Let's have a look at where we've been so far and where we're going tonight. Round 1 took us to Suzuka. Round 2 we were in Valencia. Round 3 was our first mystery track, which was Monza. Then we did Bathurst, Watkins Glen, which brings us to round 6 this week, our second mystery track. Drivers didn't know what they were getting into until about an hour ago, and the track this week is Donington Park. Next week we will head over to the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit and wrap things up at Silverstone to conclude Season 6. Let's take a quick look at our standings. Our pro category, Cooper Atherton still leads the way with 171 points. Diego Donarte in P2 with 154 points. And Dean Stefani holding down third place with 145 points. Having a look at our Pro-Ams, Albert Guinea leads the way with 193 points. Vladislav Maverick in P2 with 181 points. And Artur Hermani in P3 with 176 points. The battle there for the overall definitely can still be had by any of those top three. Over in our AM category, we have another tight race. Tyler Morgan leads the way with 187 points, taking another victory last week. Jay Pesa in P2 with 183 points. And John Malott sits in P3 with 168 points. As always, a very big thank you to our Patreon members, those who chose to and choose to support the DRL, keeping our lights on and league racing going. All these members on your screen here support the league monthly, and we appreciate them very much. As we head over onto track, drivers just finishing up another practice session here in the DRL. My name is Morgan Dino, and I am all by myself tonight. Sam Bozak was not able to make the race tonight for broadcasting alongside me, so you just get my lovely voice for this evening. As mentioned, these drivers did not know where they were racing until an hour ago, so all of them trying their best to get up to pace in a 1 hour practice session before we head into quali in 3 minutes time. As we hoped with the mystery track round, you see a little bit of a shake-up in what we might normally see in orders. But very much still, we have our pros grouped together at the top, followed by mostly pro-ams in the middle, and then AMs towards the bottom. With the odd driver here and there, maybe a little out of position they would normally be in if they had a bit more practice. See Alex Hansen having an attempt to get by somebody there with a little bit of flashing. Alex Hansen is new to the grid as of this race. Welcome, Alex. Joining us towards the end of our season, but hopefully around and back for season 7. Thanks for the follow, iHeart number 77. Hello to all of our viewers watching along on stream. Happy to have you along with us. Well, last week drivers were treated to a wet and dark Watkins Glen race, a first in DRL. We have never combined both dark and wet race prior to last week's race. And if you missed the action, we had a great race. Our pro and overall winner from last week, Neil Kerbal, showed his wet track mastery and absolutely walked away from the rest of the field with a very commanding win of nearly 25 seconds. Darren Wooks took P2 for the pros in that race, followed by his teammate Dean Stefani, who took third. Last week, our Pro-Am saw Albert Gania take another victory, showing incredible pace for a Pro-Am driver in the wet and the dark, challenging for the top 5 in qualification. And by the end of the race, found himself in that 5th spot overall as well. So a great drive from Albert, showing incredible pace in the wet. I had seen Albert in the practice session earlier this evening, but I don't see his name in the list anymore, so I don't know if he had to leave us tonight or he's having internet or computer problems. Oh, I do see Albert. He is back in the lobby. Okay, there he is, sitting in P14. He had disappeared for a little while. I did not see his name. So as expected, our Pro-Am championship race is very tight, and the top three as you see in practice as of now. Archer Hermani sitting in the top spot for the Pro-Ams in practice, Vladislav Maverick and Albert Gania. Drivers are just finishing up their last laps here in practice before we hop over to qualification. Qualification is a 20-minute session. first 10 minutes are reserved for our Pro-Am and our AM drivers. They will take to the track, try to set their best time in that 10-minute period. After that period is over, our Pro drivers will take to the track for the final 10 minutes to set their best time. While we wait for our Pro-Am and AM drivers to get their outlap completed and start their first flying lap, a little bit of information about Donington Park. Length of the circuit is 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles. There are 12 corners. This is a flowy, technical, low to mid-speed rhythm track. It was first opened in 1931 and the first permanent park circuit in England. Donington Park is famous for its smooth flow and rapid elevation changes in Sector 1. Turn 1 is a key braking and overtaking opportunity for drivers, so watch for that as we get to race time and see drivers battling for position into Turn 1. We watch Archer Hermani round the last corner, cross the start-finish line, and start his first flying lap. Archer's hoping to secure a good qualifying position in order to give himself a chance to continue to build those points up in the overall championship for Pro-Ams. Archers maybe run a bit deep there, yes, and off track, so that will invalidate his first attempt. So he keeps his foot in it and tries to keep going, or lets his teammate by to complete the lap. Looks like he might have a big enough gap to keep going as he sends the tire wall flying. Always a privilege at Donington Park to be the first to punt the tire wall through the chicane. Archers rounds the final hairpin on the track and makes his way to the last corner. Have another attempt at a lap. Take a look now at Tyler Morgan coming through that final corner behind his teammate. See if he was on a valid lap to set a time, and he was with a 129.9. Vladislav Maverick has bested that time, and so has Albert Gania. Gania with a 128.3. We ride on board with Tarugo in number 8, Cyber Tunes, as he rounds the final corner to complete his lap. What time does he set? That was invalid, so no time set. Russell Stanford for Cup of Tea 3. His time to round the final corner and race to the start-finish line. Where does he put his car? He jumps up to P9 with a 130.4. Don Fossman had an excellent lap for the AM driver, putting in a 128.5, currently good enough for P2, although we do expect to see these times come down from our Pro-Am and AM drivers. Archer Hermani sets the new fastest time with a 28.1. Riding on board with Kevin Palaniuk now, going around the final corner. Gets a little bit bouncy on the grass there. Gets across the line and good enough for P5. Alan Leung for the 9 p.m. racers. Just finished making his way through the chicane into the hairpin. Alan looking to set his first lap time. Just under 5 minutes to go for our Pro-Am and AM drivers. Hello and welcome to those watching LH44 Ferrari Superfan 16. Who do you pick to win and finish last? Great question. You know, you can probably never go wrong with picking either Denarte or Williams for a win, but we have seen them run into trouble in past races, so not an easy choice there. Last place is never an easy choice because, yeah, it depends on who runs into incident most likely and maybe finishes with a DNF. Hello Eric, thanks for tuning in. We miss having you on the grid. Maybe one day you'll be back. Damian Zawatsky makes his way through the chicane. Into the hairpin. And we'll see if he can get the hammer down, make his way down towards the final corner across the line, and improve his current time of a 1:57.4. And it looks like he's able to do so. 128.9. Puts him up to P7. We drive aboard now the 444 of West Romery. He's now going through the final hairpin. West currently sitting in P6 with a 129.2. Does not look to be improving on this lap, and he will have maybe two more goes I'd say before their time is up. Tarugo currently on a good lap and a few tenths up on his 129.9. See if you can bring that down and move up a position. Tarugo out of the final corner, crosses the line, and is able to move up to P10. Hermani, our current pole sitter and leader of the Pro-Am drivers, rounding the final hairpin, trying to make a further improvement over Guinea in P2. Hermani able to improve and bring his time down to a 127.42, giving him a 0.2 gap back to Guinea. A lot of our AM and Pro-Am drivers have parked it up now. A few drivers choosing not to make another attempt or thinking they cannot get to the line for a final attempt. Russell Stanford in P11. I'm sure would love to improve on this lap as he makes his way to the final hairpin. he comes to the line and not able to improve. So he pulls over, and that will be the end of qualification for those Pro-Am drivers. So we see all our Pro drivers making their way out of the pits and onto track. Damian Zawatsky pulling over there to finish up his qualifying session. Kyle for RTC Racing. That is one of the Hirsch brothers. Had a little error in the entry list for Kyle this week. So a great qualifying session for our Pro-Am and AM drivers. A little bit of a mix-up at the top, which we always love to see. Artur Hermani currently leading the way, the 127.4. Gania a little over 1/10 behind, and Kevin Palnick in third, 7/10 behind those two. Tyler Morgan is the lead AM driver, followed by Jay Pesa, only a 10th back, and only a couple hundreds behind him is Don Fossman for our top 3 AM in qualifying. Don Donovan lining up and rounding the corner to send it on his first flying lap. Curious to see what we're going to get from our Pro drivers. Cooper Atherton looks to be the lead car on track out of the pits. He makes his way up the hill. Cooper Atherton currently leading the overall for the Pro category. A good result here. Him in the lead and fighting to the end for that overall. It's not over by any means, and definitely with 2 races to go after this one, a lot of points still on the table. RT now just making his way through turn 1 and down the hill through the snake section here. Super fun, fast, flowy section. Atherton crosses the line to set an initial time of a 127.43. So 1/100th off the pace of Hermani. Gavin Cook rounding the final corner and making his way to the start-finish line, crosses and puts it in P6 with a 127.795. Hello and welcome back, single mom. Yes, shout out to Cooper Atherton. That dude can drive. He sure can. Another great season being had by Cooper. We ride on board with Kyle Hirsch in the number 21. And we have a new pole sitter, Denarte, with a 26.637. Blistering fast time from Denarte. Right on board here with Kyle as he crosses the line, is able to improve up to P8. Brother Daniel Hirsch making his way now to the start-finish line. Daniel looking like he's on a good lap. Currently sitting in P12, crosses and jumps all the way to P8. 1 place ahead of brother Kyle. So a great lap from Daniel. Wicks crosses the line to go to P2 and put in a 127.385. Second fastest time of the day so far. Cooper Atherton is improving on this lap himself, so he makes his way through the hairpin. As Cooper rounds the final corner, gets to the line and jumps up to P2. Only 1/10 off of Dinarte's time, so a fantastic lap by Cooper. Chandler Williams making his way through the S's now. Chandler currently sitting in P3. Looks to be improving slightly on this lap. Getting a great exit out of that final corner, jumps up to P2, sets a 126.6, less than 2/10 off teammate Dinarte. We watch Darren Wicks go drifting, doing everything to hang on to the rear of that Porsche. Darren makes his way down to the chicane. Now we got a couple minutes left in quali, seeing what drivers can do to improve. Not seeing a lot of green on the timing board. Dinarte looks to be a couple tenths up on this lap. He goes really wide into the final corner and does just improve. Yeah, the 26.3. Right on board now with Spencer Braun making his way down to the chicane into the final sector of the track. Currently up on his time, best time so far. Runs a little deep through the hairpin, and there goes all of his time.
This guy that didn't have a pit.
Yeah.
Good bend, Chris. Oh.
Thanks for the points redemption, Sean Ches. Definitely one of my favorites. Get bent, Chris. Which begs the question, Mr. Ches, why are you not on track tonight? Do you still have an old man back? Or are you just being lazy? Ten seconds left in qualification. Dinarte improves into the 25s with a monster lap. And I don't think anybody is going to touch that. Everybody else has crossed the line. Neil on the last lap there managed to make a big jump in places, putting himself into P4. couple drivers still finishing up. Kyle Hirsch looks to be improving and does. Is able to jump up to P7 as he takes a checkered flag. Brother Daniel Hirsch is close to improving on his time. Can he do it as he gets to the line? And jump brother Kyle? No, he can't. Kyle hangs on to P7, Daniel P8. Two more cars to make it to the line. Dean Stefani makes his way through the hairpin and down towards the final corner. Dean just slightly improving. Let's see if he can hang on to it as he makes it through the final corner. And not quite able to best his time. Daff for the last one to cross the line. And does so to end our qualification session. Well, let's do everybody's favorite track walk. Run through our drivers of this evening and see where everybody lines up after qualification. Tiago Donarte takes P1 in the number 14 Next Level Racing, or Please Brake Turn 1. In P2 is his teammate Chandler Williams driving the Ford Mustang, number 3. Cooper Atherton takes P3 in the number 77 McLaren. Neil Kerbel for Guardian Angel in the number 395 Ford Mustang. New to the grid this week is Alex Hansen for Bentley Team M Sport, driving the 390 Bentley. In P6 is Darren Wicks for Greenlight Racing, driving the number 46 Porsche. That super sweet Venom livery, love it. Kyle, also known as Kyle Hirsch from RTC Racing, driving the number 21 McLaren, sitting in P7. Next to him is brother Daniel Hirsch for RTC Racing, driving the number 8 AMG. Artur Hermanis, our highest qualifying Pro-Am driver, sitting in P9 for Team DNF in the number 44 Aston Martin. Albert Guinea, sitting in P10 in the number 98 Ford Mustang. Gav Cook for Shake and Bake, driving the number 69. Sitting in P11. Spencer Braun driving the number 7 Porsche for Braun GP, holding down the 12th spot on grid. Dean Stefani in P13 for Greenlight Racing, driving the number 87 Ferrari. Don Donovan for Halftone Racing, driving the 333 Ferrari in P14. Kevin Palaniuk for Cyber Tunes, driving the number 19 Porsche in P15. P16 is our top sitting AM driver, Tyler Morgan for Team DNF. Jay Pesa with JP and Samantha Tan Racing, driving the 135 McLaren. Don Fossman for the Party Pickles, still doesn't have a livery, driving the number 11 McLaren. Wes Romery sitting in P19 with the 444, driving for Half Tone Racing. Damian Zawadzki sitting in P20 for Gratis Racing. Vladislav Maverick in P21, driving the number 74 Bentley. Senior Tarugo for Cybertunes, driving the number 8 Porsche in P22. Muammar Dafa for Steve's Racing Division, driving the number 15 BMW, sitting in P23. Russell Stanford for Cup of Tea 3, driving the number 20 Bentley, sitting in P24. Buggy Watt for Zilla Red Bull in P25, driving the Nissan. Alan Leung for 9PM Racers, driving the 555. And in P27, Dan Dilator for Shake and Bake, driving the number 26, Aston Martin. That is our grid walk, ladies and gentlemen. We have 50 seconds before these drivers head out on their formation lap. With that time, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to go get a sip of water, and I'll be right back. Well, I'm back just in time to see our drivers start their formation lap as they make their way through turn 1. Donington, a super fun track, very technical, very tight track. There's not a lot of width to this track, so we'll see how drivers behave as the race gets underway and see if drivers can manage to make a clean lap without getting into trouble, contact, carnage, you might say. We had maybe one of the biggest pileups in DRL history last week at Watkins Glen. Mind you, it was dark and it was wet. And in fact, there was no single driver at fault. It ended up just being one large racing incident, with probably a good 10 or so cars involved. What kind of jump can Cooper Atherton get off the start line? Just about to ask where Williams was. I see him come flying through the pack there. He must have been getting close to being teleported. Buggy in the Lucky Red Bull Zilla says Bento Mucho Killer. Phantom Mucho Killer. My opinion. Yes, it is a very fancy livery. I think Buggy made that one himself. I think that was his first livery. Unless that was made by Milan, I'm not sure. I know Buggy did make one recently. I don't know if he's racing that one or tonight, or if this is one of John's beautiful liveries. Drivers make their way through turn 1 and are about to get the green light to go racing.
Green light, give it all you got.
And green light, drivers are on their way. Looks pretty neat and tidy heading into turn 1. Purple trying to go around the outside of Cooper Atherton, gets on the grass a little bit. He's going to lose some traction and fall backwards. Looks like Alex Hansen is getting a run on Neil, but is unable to get into that spot. All neat and tidy through the front of the field. I am not seeing too much carnage. Maybe one contact further back, which we'll check out momentarily. So we see the number 74 with a yellow flag. So not sure what has happened to Vladislav Maverick, but he is off and in the grass. replay on that in just a moment. Driver's getting away very nicely on this first lap. Having a look at Spencer Braun in the number 7, chasing down Gavin Cook. So far since the start of the race, drivers have mostly held position. Our top 5 have anyways. Gavin having a look at Archer Hermani here around the outside of the hairpin. Don't know if that Bentley versus Aston, or sorry, 2 Astons. As Archers go way deep into the final corner. Come back on track safely. We've seen Di Stefani, I think, have a wiggle there. Not sure if there was contact into the final corner. We ride on board with this close battle between Spencer Braun and Gavin Cook. Let's have a quick back to what happened on lap 1. Let's see if we can see what went down with the number 74 of Maverick. Down the inside, everything looks okay at this point. Oh, just gets a little touch from Jay Pesa, spins him around, and that is him off track. Very unfortunate. Another bit of contact between the 33 and 87, it looks like, so we can catch a little quick glimpse of what happened there. Into the final corner. This would have been, I think, when we saw Stefani. Donington just trying to make a move down the inside, a little tapping around he goes. Denarte sets the fastest lap of the race session so far with that 126.9. Something we may have missed during checking out some replays, looks like Alex Hansen has gotten around Neil Kerbel to take P4. As we see Neil tumbling down my order here, I wonder if Neil has grabbed an early pit stop or has had a moment. Let's see what we can see here. It looks like we've had some contact for the number 395. Oh, looks like Neil maybe just missed braking point a little bit, got down the inside, and that's what's caused him to tumble down. So he had to run wide through the grass. Oh, as we see another contact there between, I think that was Neil and one of the Hirsch brothers. Quick replay of that as well. It's a great run out of the chicane. Gets by Gav Cook, no problem. Just a little too late on the brakes and unable to slow the car down before hitting Daniel Hirsch. Pit window is now open for our drivers. Drivers have 35 minutes in the middle of our race to complete a mandatory pit stop. Drivers must take fuel. Tires are optional. Always interesting to see what strategy drivers will take. Some choose to pit early and try to run in free air and go the distance. Some go right to the end of that pit window to shorten their pit stop time, take a little bit of gas, and finish up the last few laps. we ride on board with Neil Kerbal, currently down to P9 after his couple little mix-ups. Vladislav Maverick, trying to make his way back through the field, has managed to claw back up to P23 from having fallen all the way down to the end. So Vladislav making some good moves here at the back of the field. Unfortunate tumble down the order for Vladislav, but he is not out of it points wise. Looks like one of his nearest contenders, Guinea, also ran into some trouble and has just completed a pit stop, so he's going to now be at the back trying to run on free air. We'll see if Vladislav continues to try to run through traffic here and make his way up the order, or also takes that pit stop to get in. Vladislav trying to get by, I believe that is Tarugo. That would be Tarugo, yes. They run into the final hairpin. Vladislav goes up the inside, and these two will have a drag race now down to the final corner. But our director flips over to the battle with Daniel Hirsch, Don Fossman, Dean Stefani, and ahead of them, Don Donovan. So these four cars nice and close. Daniel Hirsch, obviously a little bit out of order after getting tangled with Neil earlier on in the race. Neil trying to make a move on Spencer Braun, has a look up the inside, gets the move done, as I think Spencer Braun is choosing to pick battles. As we see Gav Cook lose control and slide off. Exactly what I think Mr. Braun would have been waiting for. Let's see if we can catch a quick look at what happened to Gav there. He's making his way back up the hill through the elevation here. Just gets a little bit wide, catches the grass, and that sends him around. All things considered, not too far out of it. Well, I don't know if these will be as fun without my partner in crime, Sam, with me tonight, but let's head into our first driver spotlight of the night. It is the man you are looking at, Wes Romery. Wes, on the hot seat, is a man of mystery. He doesn't say much until he drops a one-liner that wrecks the whole voice chat. It's Wes, quiet until he's not, Romery. Wes has been with DRL for several seasons now, cruising in the Pro-Am ranks and collecting just enough pace to keep you nervous if he's in your mirrors. He's usually the louder half of his team with Don Donovan, but also definitely the slower one. We love him anyways. Besides, every now and then, Wes decides he's fast now, like at Bathurst last week, where he turned into a mountain-slaying madman and started cooking out of nowhere. It was like someone swapped drivers mid-race. Calm, consistent Wes just started launching qualifying laps like he owed someone money. And don't think you're safe in any sim, because Wes will show up. iRacing? He's there. LMU? Yeah, he's testing. ACC? As you can see, yeah, he probably beat you to the lobby. The guy's like a sim racing nomad with a triple license and a half-charged headset. You never know what you're going to get with Wes. One week he's chilling, the next he's hunting for a top 5 in Pro-Am and cracking dry jokes in VC while doing it. He's one of those drivers that quietly props up the lead. Steady presence, solid racing, and a laid-back energy that helps keep things fun, even when everything's on fire. Wes, keep showing up, keep surprising us, and maybe one day, just maybe, you'll finally beat Don. But probably not. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our first driver spotlight for Wes Romery. I'm sorry you had to listen to me monotone that without Sam with me. But that's the way she goes. Well, having a look at our leaderboard and positions changed. Our top three still is unchanged. Thiago Donarte leading the way in P1. Teammate Chandler Williams still in P2. And Cooper Atherton in P3. Alex Hansen in P4, who's made it up one spot. Kyle Hirsch in P5, making up 2 places from where he started. And in 6th place, Spencer Braun now up 6 spots from starting in P12. Artur Hermanis, despite having a runoff there in the final corner, has made a couple places himself and is up to P7. And Gav Cook, despite having a little adventure through the grass, is also up 3 places into P8. Darren Wicks is our first driver who has lost positions on the grid. Darren Wicks currently running in P9, that's down 3 spots from where he started. And Don Donovan rounds out our top 10. He's up 4 spots, starting originally in P14. A few drivers have already completed their pit stop. Albert Guinea has made his stop and now lapping in P23, hoping that that early stop pays off later on in the race. Tyler Morgan has also made a stop and doing the strategy that he likes to pull at most races and pitting early and trying to run in free air. Wes Romery also has completed a pit stop as Kevin Allen. Riding on board with Don Fossman in the Party Pickles. Don Fossman is currently our lead AM driver, running in 12th place overall. We'll see where that shakes out once he has completed his pit stop and whether or not Tyler Morgan has managed to make up those places with the early stop. Dan De La Tour for Shake and Bake, making his way through the final corner, trying to chase down Alan Leung in that 555 Porsche. Dan having a good race, up a number of spots from where he started. Welcome to anybody who is following along on our stream. If you're new to watching, we are the Degenerate Racing League, and if you're interested in league racing with us or checking out what we do, I've just dropped the Discord link in chat. Please feel free to come on in, say hi. Even if you don't want to league race or aren't into league racing, you're more than welcome to join our Discord community. Great group of people hanging out, sharing lots of fun stuff there on the Discord, and we'd love to have you join. Also, don't forget, for our viewers, if you see something cool on stream, an awesome overtake, a wicked accident, you can drop the exclamation mark clip command into the chat, and that will generate a Twitch clip that you can share to your friends and family. Hop in Discord maybe. We continue on with this battle between Alan Leung and Dan De La Tour. Dan getting a little spicy out of turn 1 there. Almost losing the rear of the car. Is going to let Alan get away a little bit down here through the Essex. closest battle on track is this one. Drivers are starting to space out a little bit on this very technical track of Donington Park. As we say every week, not the greatest track for overtaking or racing, but we have seen several position changes. Kyle making his way through the final corner, trying to chase down Alex Hansen, a newcomer to the grid. Kyle, more commonly known as Kyle Hirsch. As I heard somebody say in voice chat earlier, name so good, he uses it twice. We're about 15 minutes into this race. Drivers seem to have settled into a position now and getting to the point of the race where everybody just starts doing a little bit of hot lapping. Drivers have another 22 minutes to complete their mandatory pit stop. Still sitting at just the 4 drivers who I originally mentioned making a stop. Nobody else to enter the pits as of yet. So our cameraman switches over to Don Donovan, getting chased down by Daniel Hirsch. Getting a little squirrely out of that final corner there. We have a close battle here in the back. Looks like Dan Dilator is getting nice and close to Alan Leung there through the hairpin. Not enough to get a move done. See if we can get a run down to turn 1. Currently stuck following Don Donovan, waiting for an opportunity to make a move and get by. Like Gavin Cook has Darren Wicks for company. Darren trying to make his way back up the order after losing a few spots early on in the race. Gavin Cook is not going to make things easy in that Aston Martin. Thanks for the follow, Dr. BR4. As always, we appreciate our followers, our subscribers. Thank you for supporting the league and tuning in to watch our drivers every week. We don't do just ACC around here either. We do occasionally stream the odd iRacing endurance event. I was fortunate to be part of the team who ran in the Nürburgring 24-hour, and very proud to say we were able to take the victory in our split. Fantastic race to be a part of. And if you have no plans this weekend, we have another team running endurance again. We'll be taking on an unofficial race in iRacing through a group called the Majors. going to be running Le Mans for 24 hours. Just be sure to tune back in for that. Oh, so we got a side-by-side through the chicane there. That's Buggy Watt, I believe, and who's he running beside? That would be Albert Guinea, trying to make his way up the order after making his early stop. So now he's run into this traffic at the back of the grid. See if his early stop made up for it, and if he can get by Mr. Stanford here. So he tucks in behind for turn 1, opts not to make a move. I'm sure Guinea would love to get past Stanford here and continue to charge his way up the field after making his early stop. Russ not going to make things easy for him. Tarugo in the number 8 Porsche with Alan Leung hot on his tail. As we have Don Fossman making his pit stop, so our leader of the AM class now in for his mandatory stop. Be curious to see where he comes out now in relation to Tyler Morgan. We watch Tarugo also dive into the pits. More and more drivers now starting to make their mandatory stop. See Don Fossman pull out of the pits. And it looks like Tyler Morgan has gotten ahead of Don Fossman for that position. Tyler's strategy working yet again to get out in front of Don, but that is a close battle. Don now right on the back of Tyler Morgan. So we have a battle for the net race lead in the AM class as we watch Don Fossman let that is Renarte by, being a lap down now, having completed his pit stop. Russell Stanford and Albert Guinea continue to battle here. Russell Stanford gets him back through the hairpins. It looks like the job was done for Albert. Albert looks to have gotten a good run out of the final corner. Does he make a move into turn 1? Doesn't even have to think about it. Tucks in behind. Maybe feeling like turn 1 isn't the place to get him. Just going to choose to stay close here now through this downhill snake section. Albert going to have a look on the outside. Not a lot of room there, and wisely backs out. Gets a little loose on the exit. Arthur Hermani holds on to P7 as he now has Darren Wicks for company. Darren Wicks had gotten by Gavin Cook to take that 8th place back. Don Fossman tries to pull in Tyler Morgan. So we watch Vladislav Maverick go by Dan Dilator. Vladislav's made his way back up to P14. As of now, that's second place amongst the Pro-Am drivers. We'll see if that is where he will sit after completing his mandatory stop, which he has still yet to do, same with most of our main drivers. Maverick dive into the pits to make his mandatory stop now. You see Gania making the final corner and onto the start-finish straight. Surely he's going to come out ahead of Maverick. Still, pit stop completes and away he goes, so he'll have a bit of chasing down to do if he wants to take that spot away from Albert. Let's see if he can make those places back up. Alex Hansen has completed an overtake on Cooper Atherton to take P3. With 16 minutes to go, why don't we head into our second driver highlight of the night. And that man is the one you see on screen. This week's second driver highlight is on a driver so mysterious, so elusive, we're not even entirely sure he's not just an AI experiment gone rogue. It's Cooper Data Packet Atherton. Cooper is fast, like championship winning, season 5 dominating, top of the leaderboard, and season 6 fast. But here's the thing, no one has ever heard his voice. No VC, no mic checks, not even a muted cough. The man has posted like 10 messages in Discord, total. For all we know, those were copy-pasted by somebody else. We don't know where he's from. We don't know how old he is. We don't even know if he blinks. Does he have pets? A job? A family? Friends? All unknown. What we do know is that every race night, 50 or more people show up on Twitch to cheer for him. We have no idea who they are. Bots? Cult? Secret government psyop? You decide. It's like he shows up from the Shadow Realm, wins the race, and then vanishes into a puff of vapor and race telemetry. Never a peep, not even a GG. But regardless of the mystery, the man, the myth, The Maybe simulation is absolutely crushing it this season, leading the overall standings, hunting for back-to-back title, and putting in laps like he's trying to impress the server hamsters. So whether you're a real person or just a sophisticated cloud of code, Cooper, we salute you. You're a terrifying presence on the track and a complete enigma off it. One of these days we're going to hear him say a single word, just one, and when we do, we'll probably find out it was Siri racing this whole time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Cooper Atherton. We love having Cooper on the grid. He is definitely a quiet threat, as heard, doesn't say much, but shows up every week and seems to put down a time good enough for the top three and the win in most cases. So Stanford trying to chase down Tarugo for that 21st spot. There is 7 minutes left in our pit window for drivers to complete their mandatory stop. A few more drivers have made that stop, taken their fuel, and gotten back on track. Spencer Braun leading the way of those who have pitted. Still a number out ahead who have not. Riding forward with Daniel Hirsch, looking back at Don Donovan. Whoa, as he goes flying by. That was either Zawatsky or Leung. Likely a blue flag car getting out of the way. Darren Wicks running into drivers now who have not pitted. It's Jay Pesa in the 135, currently leading the AM drivers, but has yet to complete his pit stop. Taking a look at the leaderboard, it looks like Don Fossman has gotten past Tyler Morgan. Not sure if Mr. Morgan had an incident or if Don just threw down some rapid time. Looks like there's a bit of contact through those two drivers. Let's grab a quick replay and see if we can see what happened. Oh, Tyler Morgan takes a trip through the beach. Trying to defend the inside line into the hairpin regardless. Oh, gets a little low on the brakes, gets a little bump in the rump from Don Fossman. No harm, no foul. And on they go. And let's see what happened to number 72 after that. Hope that's the same one. Oh, there it is. A little bit of contact from Fossman. Just gets a nose in there, sends Tyler around. Instead of giving the spot back, decides to put his foot down and try to build the penalty gap. Alan Leung hot on the back of Wes Romery. These two battling it out, trying to see who can take P4 in the Pro-Am category. Archer Hermani now completing his pit stop for the Pro-Am drivers. Looks like he's going to come out of the pack in 12th place. Which is still leading the Pro-Am drivers. Hermani can hang on, trying to take a win in his class. Spencer Braun now has Darren Wicks for company. Darren Wicks falling down the order early on in the race, been slowly but surely chipping away at positions and making up spots. Some kind of pressure he can put on Mr. Braun for that position. Still a few drivers up the order yet to complete their pit stops. We're down to under 3 minutes left. Drivers are going to want to make their stop this lap or next in order to meet those requirements in the allotted time. It's Braun coming across lap traffic there, it looks like. Cybertune cars getting out of the way nicely and letting this battle between Braun and Wicks carry on. Battle between Tarugo, Russell, Stanford, and Zawadzki. Like everybody has completed their stop so far except Dinarte. I would expect him to be diving into the pits this lap, and he does. In he goes. All drivers will now have completed mandatory stops within the pit window.
Pit window is now closed.
You heard it there, folks. Pit window is now closed. All drivers, as mentioned, completed their mandatory stops. Take a look at our leaderboard. Things have remained fairly how we left them before drivers started their sequence of stops. Our top three are still unchanged, with Dinarte leading the way, followed by Williams, and then Cooper Atherton in P3. Somewhere along the way, Alex Hansen has lost a couple places. We continue to watch this close battle between Stanford, Zawatsky, and Tarugo. These drivers are all about to come a lap down to another close battle behind in Spencer Braun and Darren Wicks. So I'm curious to see how that plays out, as these three are in a battle of their own, but are now going to start getting blue flags waved at them. Go. Spencer Braun on the outside, but coming up on this battle. Where does he go? Tries to stick it 3 wide. Looks like everybody come out of there fairly unscathed. Spencer Braun moves to the inside to do some defending. I'm not sure who he got bumped by. It looks like Wicks maybe stuck a nose in and didn't get the car slowed down. Let's have a quick look at that one there. They made their way through the hairpin and these blue flag drivers as best they could. Spencer Braun being impeded a little bit, runs to the inside. Oh, actually it was Tarugo who comes across and makes contact with the number 7. Mr. Braun out of position to Darren Wicks. So the number 7 falls to P7. I don't think we caught what happened there, Ferrari superfan, but we do have our incident reporting system in this league. So if there was contact between 2 drivers where one of them felt like it was the other's fault, they are more than welcome to submit an incident report, and our stewards will take care of it. See our leaders continuing to make their way through blue flag drivers. Oh, we have a close call between Williams and I'm not sure which Bentley that was, if that was Maverick or Stanford. I think that was Stanford. Stefani having what I think is a bit of a quiet race, currently lapping around in P12. I think that's similar to where he started the day. He's up 1 spot from 13th. Cooper Atherton makes his way around another blue flag driver in Leon as he holds on to P3. Hirsch not too far behind. Kyle has made up a good number of places. He's up 3 spots to P4. Leaders will now be on their final lap as time has elapsed. Right on board with Denarte as he crosses the line, takes the checker flag, and wins Donington Park. Congratulations to Denarte. Teammate Chandler Williams is going to cross the line in P2. Cooper Atherton making his way by some blue flag drivers through the hairpin. He will make a run to the final corner. To hold on to that third place spot. As we jump a bit further down the field, Archer Hermani is our leading Pro-Am driver. He's chasing down Gav Cook as they make their way towards the final corner. And the end of their race. Archer Hermani takes the victory for the Pro-Am drivers. Next across the line is Don Donovan. He's got Daniel Hirsch hot on his tail for P10. Don's just going to hang on to it, grab P10 and P11 for Mr. Hirsch. Dean Stefani crosses the line in 12th. And that is everybody through, I think, except for Dafa still to cross the line. Nope, he is done. And it looks like Jay Pesa takes the win for our AM class, followed by Don Fossman in P2 and Tyler Morgan in P3. So congratulations to all of our drivers. We are going to take a quick break here and come back to see if we have any drivers wanting to take an interview. We'll be right back.
Kicking into high gear, the race is on. Wheels burning rubber, we're never wrong. Power in the engines, fire in our veins. In the DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no slowing down. The checkered flag is calling, we're the crown. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead. In the DRL, we race with greed. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder, hear the call. Push it to the limit, take the lead. In the DRL, we race with greed. Degenerate race league, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. With steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Got our highlights going. And let's have a look to see who we have waiting for interview. Looks like we got Arter in the green room, so let's pull him in and see how his race went. Arters, congratulations on the win in Pro-Am, my friend. How was your race?
It felt good. Honestly, it feels like one of my best drives, as I feel like I didn't make any mistakes. I mean, I had a couple of tank stoppers and a little bit of drifting from here and there, but all in all, I didn't go off the track fully once. I didn't make contact with anyone. I had to avoid others making contact on enemy. That happened like 3 times or 4 times. To do some slalom around everyone. But
Yeah.
I was in the race. When Gav Cook was leaving pits, I was side by side with him for the whole first sector. It was incredible.
Unfortunately,
we
we missed that one on stream. yeah, you had a great race. You know, early on in the race, I think it was lap 1 or lap 2. We actually saw you go deep into the final corner, and you managed to hang. You managed to hang on to it though, bring her back on track, and then from there you looked pretty flawless the rest of the way. So, yeah, fantastic drive, my friend.
Forget about that. And well, I guess that was the only off I had because I was side by side, I think, with Gav as well, and
That's
I just again missed the braking marker, and I just started braking at the next bollard thingy, and that's too late, so I just very deep. But never made that mistake again. So.
But overall, great race, and I think with that win, you're going to make the championship standings interesting yet again. Because I think Kania did finish P2 in your class.
I think so as well.
So still a good grab of points for him, and I think also Vladislav grabbing another P3. So yeah, this fight for the championship in your class is far from over with 2 races to go. Still a ton of points up for grabs. I think it's going to come down to the last race, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, although I will have to say as well, if not known yet, that I'm not racing in the final 2 races, so this was the last race for me of the season. So I'm very happy that I'm going out with a win.
Oh, so unfortunate. I mean, yeah, I think that'll probably mean no championship for you. But anyways, yeah, like you said, a great way to go out with a victory, and hopefully next season you're able to, get as many as you can with the single drop round and challenge again.
We'll see if I still stay in Pro-Am to do that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's been great racing from you. Any highlights? Did you have any good battles on track that you're excited about?
I think that side by side with Gab, I will try to find out to send it to Kyle for the highlights. But yeah, it was the side by side with Gab when he left the pits, and somewhere early in the race, Kerbal made a move on me that was so insane that I was just impressed, kind of thing that he pulled off. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty straightforward, honestly, just me avoiding and defending.
Amazing. Well, again, congratulations. We'll let you get back to the rest of the crew and review those highlights like everybody likes to do each week. And we'll miss you for the last 2 races, Arters. But looking forward to having you back for season 7.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Well, we'll hang around for another moment or 2 to see if there are any other drivers interested in coming in for an interview. So far, Arthur is the only one who was lined up. So we watched some of the highlights back. I think maybe this is the battle between Arters and Gav that he was talking about. Let's see what happens here. Did we miss it already? Looks like we did. Anyways, on to this battle between Alan and Tarugo, which went on for a long time in this race. I know Dan was involved in this one quite a bit as well. Hey, Light to the World Racing, thanks for rating, bringing in your viewers. I believe that is Mr. Daniel Hirsch. Daniel, if you're listening, very unfortunate to see the contact early on in the race, but you did a heck of a job charging back through the field. Well, no other drivers interested in an interview tonight. That's okay with me. I am tired. I am going to say goodnight, my friends. Sign you off with our amazing DRL theme song. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week, same day, same time, as drivers come back for round 7. Only 2 to go. Have a good night, everybody.
Kicking into high gear, the race is on.
Fine. And yeah, and I'm right behind. I'm seeing you guys. I'm right here as well.
Yeah, you weren't far off.
Because I had a bit earlier when Neil